Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark with Exodus Evangelical Ministries. I just had an interesting thing happen to me the other day that speaks to how God, a lot of the time, will intervene in our lives when we're just ready to go about our business and in the process of winding down for our day. A lot of the time, He wants to use us to reach other people, even when we're not really thinking about it. The other day, I was walking down to McDonald's to get some ice cream. I had just gotten done with a long day and was tired, and McDonald's ice cream just it's a good way to put a cap on the day and just kind of wind it down. So I'm walking down McDonald's. It's in the bottom of a hospital up the road, Sister Kenny's, and I'd run into a couple other girls that I know from the school, and I just asked them, where are you guys going? And turns out that they were going to visit somebody who was at detox at Sister Kenny's and was coming off methamphetamine. And they asked me if I wanted to come along and pray. You know, they were just going to swing in and pray for the gal and then go about their business. They had a worship service they wanted to be to, is the deeper worship service put on by Substance Church. And I said, yeah, I'd be more than happy to. I'd never turned down the opportunity to pray with people. So I joined them for a while. We walked down there and went to go and meet with this gal, and we prayed for her, and we talked for a while. And the other two gals were ready to leave to go to the service, and something inside of me, the Lord was saying, "Hey, just stop and take a minute out of your time to just have to talk with her further." So I asked her. I said, "Well, you seem pretty bored. Would you want me to stick around? I don't have anything going on right now. I'm going to go down and get some ice cream and plan on heading back to the school." And she said, "Yeah, that'd be great." So I asked her if she had a Bible, and she went to go get her Bible. And I just went through a lot of scriptures with her, empowering scriptures, the scriptures that speak to who we are in Christ and who Christ is in us. She had already given her life to the Lord many years ago, and her parents are believers and whatnot. And her sister, I guess, is currently in the program at Teen Challenge, and that's how the girls from the Ministry Institute figured out what was going on with her. So after I got done, after we looked through a lot of the scriptures of who Christ is in us and who we are in Christ, I also brought her to another several. I laid it out for her how devil's game plan is always the same, although he has many devices he uses along the way. So I took her to a lot of those scriptures that would help her to stand and be victorious against the wiles of the enemy and against where he'd like to attack her. The main battlefield being her mind, her thoughts, her beliefs about herself, and her security and her identity in Christ. And after we went through some of those, I went to my go-to for staying secure in the Lord and walking in victory. I always look to James 4:7 and 8, which says, "Submit therefore to God, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded." And I broke it down for her into those 4 parts. And what that means to us and how we can be successful in this walk. And I had mentioned to her, I said the girls that were there wanted to pray for her, and there are so many gals over at the school that are available to come and talk and pray and whatever else. And so I gave her one of my cards. I said, "Well, you can call me and I can always look up a number of these girls that are over at the school who would be more than happy to come and hang out with you, meet with you, study the Word, and whatever." It was a really awesome time, and I could tell that when I explained to her the main battlefield being our minds, and how coming into agreement with those thoughts that the devil wants to put in our head, those thoughts, those lies, is what gives him the power. And then he continually throws out what I like to call his piggyback attacks on those lies with lies that are related, that he can stack on top of the other ones to compound your issue and your overall state. He can sink you further by tacking on these piggyback attacks. Anyway, when I said that, I mean, when we broke that down, she really, you could tell the light bulb came on, and there was definitely, it made an impact right there. So I asked her, is there any way we could pray here before we leave? So we prayed, and she expressed her appreciation for me being there, and just taking the time to break down those scriptures with her. I know that coming off of meth, being prior to 2001, meth and cocaine was my main issue. When I got radically saved, and God set me free from the addiction to methamphetamine, which was absolutely unheard of if you'd asked any professionals in the field of chemical abuse and addiction. The statistics for meth users is not good, and for IV meth users, which was mine and was the case of this girl also, it's even worse. But our God is big. He's bigger than all our issues. He's bigger than any addiction. He's bigger than any of the devices that the devil would put in our paths, that the devil would choose to waylay us from what God has for our lives. I guess the moral of the story is always be prepared to give an account for what you believe, and pay attention for unsuspected stops in your schedule where the Lord may be calling you to share with another hurting individual, where you can dramatically impact their life. And all it is just being available and being attentive to what the Lord would do. Anyway, enough of my yammering. I just thought I'd share. God bless you all. And remember, the love that God has poured forth in your heart is not meant to be kept to yourself, meant to be shared with others. God bless you.